So for last night's Thursday night mock draft, I wanted to do a PowerPoint because I thought it would be a lot better for everyone if they could just look at it by a slideshow of who I had going where. But I didn't like the way the PowerPoint turned out now that I got a chance to look at it again. So I decided to just go back to kind of the old way that I was doing it and just reading off the picks. So I will say, though, that starting next week, since we're going to have all this information about the combine and everything and the results and outcomes of it, to just include trades with the mock drafts. I think that'd be an exciting perspective to add in. And I do not recall ever doing something like that before in mock drafts, so it's kind of something to look forward to. So without further ado, let's get started with my NFL mock draft 3.0. With the first overall pick, I have the Arizona Cardinals with Nick Bosa, defensive at Ohio State. And this pick is going to stay the same. It's been the same unless something happens. Number 2, I have the San Francisco 49ers going with Josh Allen, defensive end linebacker out of Kentucky. Number 3, I have the New York Jets going with Jonah Williams, offensive tackle out of Alabama. I could see the Jets moving down to ensure they can get their offensive lineman that they want at a reasonable expense. Number 4, I have the Oakland Raiders going with Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. Number 5, I have Quinnen Williams, it's simply your replacement for Khalil Mack. Number 5, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going with Greedy Williams, the cornerback out of LSU. Number 6 and number 7, those two picks, with the Giants going with Dwayne Haskins, quarterback of Ohio State, and the Jaguars going with Kyler Murray, the quarterback of Oklahoma. Those two picks are staying the same as well. Nothing's changed so far. Number 8, I have the Detroit Lions going with Rashawn Gray, defensive out of Michigan. Number 9, I have the Buffalo Bills going with Ed Oliver, defensive tackle out of Houston. Number 10, I have the Denver Broncos going with DeAndre Baker, cornerback out of Georgia. And I am sticking to this pick with the Broncos going with DeAndre Baker at number 10 overall. Number 11, I have the Cincinnati Bengals going with Devin White, linebacker of LSU. Number 12, I have the Green Bay Packers with Montez Sweat, defensive end out of Mississippi State. And I feel like this is one of the best prospects that we have, at least because Montez Sweat, I know he's always, well, it's not just him, it's always these prospects from kind of lower tier schools, not really lower tier, but ones that aren't like elite, like Alabama or Ohio State or Clemson or USC or Michigan. Montez Sweat, I think he could easily fall into this top 10 come draft night. It wouldn't surprise me if he actually did. Number 13, I have the Miami Dolphins with Daniel Jones, quarterback out of Duke. But I could see the Miami Dolphins trading up to try to get Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins because maybe they don't want to be stuck with the last option of the 4 quarterbacks. Number 14, I have the Atlanta Falcons going with Colin Farrell, defensive end of Clemson. And I feel like this is a pick that the Falcons need to make because the Falcons, they need to make adjustments on that defense a little bit. Number 15, I have the Washington Redskins going with Drew Lock, the quarterback out of Missouri. And the Redskins going with a quarterback here. They are certain that Alex Smith is not going to play another snap in the NFL or even football ever again. And the Redskins, they just need to start new. Although I could see them trading up as well to draft Kyler Murray. In fact, it could be a race between the Dolphins and the Redskins on trading up to draft someone like Kyler Murray or even Haskins or even Daniel Jones. Number 16, I have the Carolina Panthers going with Jawan Taylor, offensive tackle out of Florida. Number 17, I have the Cleveland Browns going with Cody Ford, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Number 18, I have the Minnesota Vikings going with Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Number 19, I have the Tennessee Titans going with Byron Murphy, cornerback out of Washington. Number 20, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers going with Devin Bush, linebacker out of Michigan. Number 21, I have the Seattle Seahawks going with, and this may be kind of a shocking pick. It could be a shocker to some. But DK Metcalf, wide receiver of Ole Miss. And this may be shocking to some, although the Seahawks, their wide receiver position is a need, but isn't necessarily their top priority. But I feel like the further along Metcalf falls, the more of a steal that he's going to be. And I think the Seahawks, they take full advantage of the opportunity of going with him at number 21 overall to give Russell Wilson someone to throw the ball to. Kind of give him that kind of maybe 12 to 14 targets of a game kind of receiver in Metcalf. So that's kind of a shocking pick to some, but it really wouldn't be to me if they went with Metcalf at 21 overall. Number 22, I have the Baltimore Ravens going with Chris Lindstrom, offensive tackle of Boston College. Number 23, this may be a shocking pick as well, but Dexter Lawrence, defensive tackle out of Clemson. And this may be a shocking pick, but before the failed drug test allegedly at Clemson, the failed drug test for the College Bowl playoff, Dexter Lawrence was a top 10 pick in a lot of mock drafts, top 15 at the very least. And this is a steal for the Texans if they take a shot on him. Give J.J. Watt somebody to team up with. Kind of build up some space for J.J. Watt to assert himself as a presence in the Texans' defensive line. Number 24 are the Oakland Raiders with Kelvin Harmon, wide receiver of North Carolina State. This is simply your Amari Cooper replacement. Number 25 are the Philadelphia Eagles going with Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle out of Mississippi State. Now, I've had Jeffrey Simmons going to the Rams in the last two mock drafts, but I think the Eagles take a shot at him at 25. Because I feel like the best defensive tackles, they're kind of off the board at this point. And maybe this could be kind of a one-year thing to just have him sit out for the year, because Jeffrey Simmons tore his ACL and his draft stock's falling. He was a top 15 pick in a lot of mock drafts leading up to this. But kind of just sit him out for a year, let him learn the Eagles' defensive system, and then insert him into your defense in 2020. Number 26 at the Indianapolis Colts going N'Keal Harry, wide receiver of Arizona State. This is a pick to give T.Y. Hilton, someone to complement T.Y. Hilton. Give him a number 2 wide receiver to throw to, and N'Keal Harry fits the bill. Number 27 out of the Oakland Raiders with Nasir Adderley, safety out of Delaware. This is a pick to improve the Raiders' secondary. Number 28, the Los Angeles Chargers going with Mack Wilson, linebacker of Alabama. Number 29, the Kansas City Chiefs going with Draymond Jones, defensive tackle of Ohio State. And the Chiefs, I think they're going to go defense a lot in this mock draft because they signed a new defensive coordinator in Steve Spagnuolo. And there's also talks that maybe Justin Houston's on the trade block for the Chiefs. So something to keep an eye out on as we move closer into the start of the new NFL season coming up in a couple of weeks. Number 30 are the Green Bay Packers with Dalton Risner, offensive tackle out of Kansas State. This is kind of simple. Give protection for Aaron Rodgers, your franchise quarterback. Number 31 are the Los Angeles Rams going with Zach Allen, defensive end of Boston College. And I think that Zach Allen, if the Rams took a shot at him at number 31, I think that he can fit into this Rams defense and have an immediate impact, kind of teaming up with Aaron Donald and the Rams defense. Because the Rams, they are pretty loaded in secondary and in the front seven. But adding Zach Allen, it's like adding another weapon. Because Dante Fowler, free agent, and Ndamukong Suh, free agent. So, just in case you can't get either of them back. I know Suh's a defensive tackle, but particularly Dante Fowler. If you can't re-sign Dante Fowler, because he's going to be a free agent, take Zach Allen, number 31, have him be an immediate impact. Number 32, the New England Patriots go with Marquise Hollywood Brown, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. And it's no surprise that the Patriots are going to go wide receiver at some point in the draft, but this is an opportunity for them to go wide receiver right away in the draft. So that is my NFL Mock Draft 3.0. Tune in next week for my 4.0, as we're going to get a lot of information, a lot of things we'll be telling after this weekend of the NFL Combine. So stay tuned for that. Comment your thoughts on my mock draft down below. And if there's a pick you want me to explain, leave it in the comment section. I'll respond to it. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Have a good day.